everybody feel about it, and I don't wish harm on nobody. I don't wish imprisonment on nobody. I don't wish anything bad on nobody, but you don't get the option to disrespect women and disrespect black women, and then when something happens to you, then you need them to go to rally for you, and you need them to go to war for you, and you want them to hit the media, and you want them to hit the news, and you want viral tweets, and you want them to go all out, but you disrespected them and said what they wasn't, and said what they don't look like, and said what they don't have, and say how you don't like their hair, and you don't like their skin complexion, you don't like their bodies, and they don't amount to do this, and they can't do this, and they can't operate this way, and you disrespect them, and you say how disgusting they are, and as soon as something happens, as soon as you down in your luck, as soon as you need some money, as soon as you need some shelter, as soon as you need somebody to go to war for you, as soon as you need somebody to stand up for you, as soon as you need a rider, as soon as you need somebody to hit the media, then conveniently you want black women to ride for you. Then conveniently you want women to ride for you. But when you was on this earth, when you was walking on this earth, when you was on this land, when you was free, you didn't have their back. It don't work like that.
Child, when I tell you he brought it down. Shout out to Bitsy Official on TikTok. He came through with a word. There's not much I even need to add to that, but I figure since I have been repeatedly ad nauseum telling you guys that consequences desperately need to be instilled, why not hear from a black man themselves? And you're gonna get some people who are gonna say, oh, so you're saying these men need to be taken out? Bye, boo. You know that's not even the argument. But basically what you're telling me is, I'm supposed to just blatantly ignore all of these podcasts, these YouTube channels, these blogs that are commodifying the black woman's plight and propagandizing negative tropes associated with black women. And even if those same men who are generating millions of dollars in revenue and monetizing the exploitation of black women, I'm supposed to ignore all of that because it could be my brother, my cousin, my uncle, my grandpa. But the reality is these men are not my cousin, my uncle, my grandpa, or any male family members, just as many of these men don't view me or any other black woman as their sister, their auntie, their mother, their grandmother. And somehow them having black female family members never seems to stop them from going on to bash us. And if you notice, many black women are never qualified for the communal support. They always want to know, is her hair natural? What was her mouth like? Was she supporting the black community? What was her blood type? How many kids does she have? Was she with a black man? You are never going to be qualified, even if you meet every single last prerequisite. They're always going to ask questions before they jump to conclusions. Even if black women have said nothing negative about the community, so many black women have been waking up to this scam and sham. I'm so pleased to see. Although there are some of them who are still lost in the sauce, but there's plenty of black women, as you can see from these comments, who are standing down and standing by. They are not going to allow this community to use them as footstools anymore. We are done with that. And I also want to reiterate to some of you guys who choose to ignore this and you just want to sit here and justify why you are prioritizing a grown man who is fully capable of taking care of and protecting himself. I want you to look at this comment here from one of my subbies who did not heed the warning. This was around the time where there was some other protest going on for another black man. She said, I know next time I'm not protesting ish. And one of my moderators asked her, did you get shot with a rubber bullet? And she said, I did get hit with one in my leg. I have an ugly moon-shaped scar now. Then I get on the internet and black men showed me I made a mistake. There's another black woman, a subscriber of mine. She called into my latest live. I'll leave the link to the full live in the description box. And she gave such vital information that could potentially save your life.
It's ridiculous to teach your daughters to support men who bully them. First of all, you would never teach your daughters that. And second of all, I just want to say, I used to have the cape. Even while still listening to your channel, I had the cape. And so my husband shot me in front of my child. And I burned the cape. And that's it. And I do not support women supporting men who hate you. Period.
Boomselly is a 27-year-old man who was stabbed in his luxury apartment by his IG model girlfriend. Now, the IG model Courtney Taylor is claiming self-defense, but their mutual friend says that Christian wasn't violent. When I first heard about this case, I was livid because she hasn't been arrested and she's not in jail right now. But someone said that he had been tweeting some disparaging things against black women. I, for one, thought this was Photoshop, so I went to his Twitter myself. Now, Toby said that black women were ignorant. They disgraced themselves on TV. He's tired of black women being in his government class in college. I don't mind a preference at all. People like what they like, but you can have a preference for one thing without talking shit about another thing. I don't wish harm on anybody, and I'm sending Toby's family love and hugs. But I think I'm gonna mind my black ass business on this one. Christian Toby Aboomselli is a 27-year-old man who was stabbed in his luxury apartment by his IG model girlfriend. Now, the IG model Courtney Taylor is claiming self-defense, but their mutual friend says that Christian wasn't violent. When I first heard about this case, I was livid because she hasn't been arrested and she's not in jail right now. But someone said that he had been tweeting some disparaging things against black women. I, for one, thought this was Photoshop, so I went to his Twitter myself. Now, Toby said that black women were ignorant. They disgraced themselves on TV. He's tired of black women being in his government class in college. I don't mind a
Yes, you would. I swear to God. If you watch it shit like that and they get you off, what makes you think that you wouldn't do it to your own daughter? It's just a mindset. Again, that's all it is, bro. From a daddy and a daughter. I swear to God, boy, you weird. You disgusting. You won't tell everybody that too. Get out. Just get out. Just get out.
There has been so much going on the past couple of days. First off, I want to talk about Christian Toby, which is a funny name, but I'm glad that everybody's on code about it. Because it's just like, he's going to get that Stephen Clark treatment, because you can't expect black women to defend you and stand up for you, and you are disrespectful and you don't wish good on us. You wouldn't even defend us. So that's really good. I just applaud black women for that, because we're on code. I've never seen us on code so much before. And it's just something to be proud of and be happy about. But yeah, I'm just happy for us. I just hope that we continue being on code and not care what anybody thinks. A lot of these podcast guys, they're not talking about swirling gone wrong with this situation. They're unusually quiet, so we'll see how that plays out. And yeah.
Come on. Lonnie?
Yeah, I don't have too much to say about him. There were some past tweets where he ridiculed black women. So I'm just going to say rest in peace. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay.
That is a hard one, though. That's real. That's a hard one
Yeah.
to then reveal this person's past.
Yeah,
Was
and I'm
really-
sorry that it happened, and I
Of
have
course, I
condolences
understand.
to his family, but,
Yeah.
it's just, it is what it is.
Because justice should be served, and at the same time, you're learning who this person was against a community that's
That's
trying
the
to
hard
protect
part.
you right now. He's trying to speak up for you.
Yeah.
And in the street is very attractive and it's a turn on, you know? And I'm wondering, does anybody else feel like that? Hold on. Yes, no. When I look at these white men, they are the epitome of masculine, and watching some of these police officers manhandle these black men in the street is very attractive and it's a turn on, you know? And I'm wondering, does anybody else feel like that? Hold on. Yes, no. Y'all off the chain, okay? Yes. Every 18 minutes, black guys now go by sleep. That's what's up. I think we can get it down to 15. Blue lives matter. Yeah. You don't even breathe in my direction. I will start crying and I will call the police. I love calling the police on. I love it. Because they tighten up. They turn into a whole different person. When they that tail to run. Right. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, you should. I met a nerdy guy. He's really sweet. We're both ambitious and educated. That's exactly the type of guy I wanted. And it's just like, there's no turning back. Because these dusty, they're dusty. Like, they just belong in a coffin. I agree. Thank you. Thank you, Bianca. Who was next? Hi.
First thing I'm gonna say is this is black people business. So if you're not black, not your business. So one of the last times I got on Clubhouse was because I was in a room and it was a room full of black people, majority black women. And there's about 40 or 50 people in there. And one of the black women said, if you are pregnant, talking to black women, and you find out you're having a son, get an abortion. Now the room erupted in laughter and you saw a bunch of applause in that toxic app. If you want to show that you are applauding, you turn on and off your mic and it shows it flickering back and forth. So you had a group of probably 40 or 50 black women laughing or applauding at another black woman saying that if you are pregnant with a boy, get an abortion. I don't really have a lot of words because I'm not trying to cry, but for us as a people, I need us to hear this message. We cannot endure hundreds and hundreds of years of trauma and be okay as a people. We are not okay as a people, and we need critical race theory more than anybody else. Black people, if we don't start loving each other, we will die. We will die.
These black dudes are so terrified that we're going to leave them. We are. They are terrified because they know that their time is up. And we will selective breed and selective gender abortions. Time's up.